when you did this drastic career move, right? You basically left out of a high-flying job with a wife and a daughter into an unknown in Singapore with no concrete plans. And now that you're kind of survived,
surviving,
yeah, I think you're very humble. What are your advice to people who are in similar situation? And I will bring up one point about managing risk. You mentioned managing risk a few times in this conversation.
Yeah.
What do you exactly mean by managing risk? And what advice would you give for people who are in similar shoes?
So every one of us are in very different situations. Right? So where we could be family, it could be financial. Every one of us are very, very different. And thus our risk, our fear is also significantly very different. I think importantly, what I like to do to myself a lot of the time is that, and there's this exercise that I do for myself, and that is that I imagine myself dead already, and then I get different people, my fellow colleagues, or members of the public, or my parents to talk about me. And then I ask myself what I like them to talk about me about, right? One of the things that I don't want, a lot of the time I'm not sure what they'll talk about me, but I know what I don't want to hear. And I don't want them to talk about how he just survived through the stuff that he did. Right? There was nothing. When I say wow, it doesn't mean one must be very successful, one must be a lot of money. That's not the point. One must be, it must be doing it passionately about it. You know, so I think it's important that sometimes we plan our life as if it has ended, and then redesign again from this point onwards and go, okay, from this point onwards, what would I like it to be? We will not be able to determine the result of what will happen tomorrow, but we can determine the direction. At least that's the least we can do, is to move closer to the direction that we want to be. So I think what I made the change was because, and I only can share my experience because and everyone's in a very different situation. I realized that I need to feel powered. I need to feel passionate. I need to feel that I want to do something. I want to contribute today. And whatever I do, it doesn't really matter. It must be in line with that combo. It must give me that feeling that I'm contributing, I'm excited, I'm jumping out of the bed to do something today. It must not be, oh my God, it's another day again. But that to me is really important. And obviously, being in love with what you're doing is really important because, like I said that many times, when you are in love with what you're doing, you can overcome many, many challenges. But the moment you're not in love with what you're doing, everything is a chore. Every small little challenge is a big problem for you, right? So that is my take. And then I will then look at, okay, so if I want to make a change, then can I manage the change in lifestyle? Are we willing to adapt? I don't drive a car anymore. I don't drive a car now, for example. And it's very weird because people in the 40s who don't drive a car in my circle of friends, it's weird. You know, everybody will assume that in your 40s you must drive a car. And I don't drive a car since I came back from Hong Kong, right? And then I need to adapt. I used to drive a luxury car and I stopped it already. Because when you change to do something different, you must accept that it comes with its terms and conditions. It comes as a package. You must accept that package. So you cannot once you accept the good and then you want to ignore the bad with it, right? Or the changes with it. And I think we must have high awareness of this. And manage that transition yourself. And you know there's a saying that I read somewhere. It says that if you are not happy with something, move. You are not the tree.
Mm.
And I always look at that quote and I ask myself this, like, was I unhappy? Maybe not, but I wasn't very happy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Maybe I should move and I should find something that I am passionate about.